Hello, welcome to another episode of Common Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this, for a change, actually sunny Wednesday. I hope you all had a great week so far. As always in Common Chaos Live, I'll try to answer all the questions that you have about the different projects that I covered in my video so far. Hi, Gabby, great to have you here as well. And outside of that, if there are no questions yet in the chat, we're going to take a look at the comments that I receive on my video, because they also contain repeatedly or frequently asked questions. Now, that said, if you're new to this live stream and you haven't subscribed yet, here's obviously your reminder to like, subscribe, and enable notifications, because in order to ask your questions in the chat, you have to be a subscriber for at least 1 day. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button today, and tomorrow you should be able to also get the answers to your questions. With that, we'll jump directly into Agora Pulse, the tool we are using to manage our comments on YouTube. And scroll up all the way. There seems to be a little bit of an issue. You can see if I pick a comment, it scrolls weirdly and so on. There's also a little bit of an issue with showing all the comments here. However, it's still better than what YouTube has natively. Hi, BJK, great to have you here. He's asking what is happening with B Network. I'd actually recommend that you, I'm going to grab the link for you. So 1 second, Christian, playlist. B Network, yeah, I should get a result, I guess. B Network, yep. If you check out this playlist, so B Network, the latest video covers pretty much what happened or didn't happen, and personally, the team. So to keep this short here regarding B Network, the team would have to actually show some progress. Sadly, they didn't. Everything they built so far is just towards ads and monetization and so on. And only if they would show some progress would there be further potential. So where Pi Network took its time and actually developed a blockchain and their own KYC solution and so on, B Network pretty much just integrated more offer walls and stuff like that. I still press the button there, to be perfectly honest, but simply because it's in my daily routine, and 5 seconds extra or 10 seconds extra to press the button don't hurt. But at the moment, I don't have huge hopes for B Network anymore, because again, there is so far, at least from what I noticed, no progress towards actually launching a B token or anything of that kind. It really feels like they just integrate more monetization features, charge a ridiculous amount for ads so that other companies can show you their ads. And to be fair, the one thing that they do, or at least claim they do, is when you use the offer wall offers, you can actually earn USDT that you theoretically can withdraw. I fulfilled the requirements for withdrawals, but so far all my withdrawals got declined. So yeah. And I'm not working for any. So since you're asking if I can help you with any of the projects, first of all, you would also have to mention which project, because there are a ton of projects that require KYC. Yeah, but keep in mind, I'm not working for any of the projects, so I have no influence. I don't talk to the project owners or team members or so, and so just keep that in mind. Yeah. Anyway, in the meantime, let's take a look at Pi. So there. We can cover that, yeah. So that we can definitely cover. So in Pi Network, there are 2 conditions, or actually 1 condition. So when you're a new user, you have to complete 30 mining sessions, and then a KYC slot will be available to you. Yeah, doesn't have to be 30 in a row. Within the first 2 months, if you complete 30, you should be able to start the KYC process. And but your account has to be at least 30 days old as well. So if you're a new user and you get the message that there is no slot, then that's just a badly worded message. It's not a problem of any kind. It's just a sad, that you have to have 30 days, or your account has to be 30 days and you have to complete it 30 mining sessions. I also believe, although I'm not 100% sure, that if you are already a long-term user, there is still the 30-day limit over whatever period of time. So if you, I don't know, used Pi Network 2 years ago and then you stopped and you go back now, then it might also, in my opinion, I have no proof for that, it's just what I believe, as said, you might also get the, hey, no slot available. And then after you complete 30 mining sessions, you should also be able to submit it. However, outside of that, Pi Network, there we already have the playlist, yeah. So I'm gonna share that playlist as well. Pi Network, yeah. So if you check the playlist, there's a video that can't start KYZ, Pi Network, why you may be unable to start KYZ and what you have to do about it, yeah. So if your account is already older than 30 days and you definitely completed 30 mining sessions or more and you still get the no slot available, then it means your account has been flagged for one reason or another. So I cannot tell you what it is. And there is then a form that you have to submit, yeah, to get your account reviewed, and then either you will be able to submit KYZ or not, yeah. Again, I cannot help with any kind of KYZ. I'm not working for any of the projects, yeah. So BitToken, yeah, I don't know the project, so haven't looked at it. Your best chance to get an answer would be if you jump on our Discord server. There's a link to it on the YouTube channel. So if you go to the YouTube channel, and then I'm also gonna, continue, blah, blah, blah. So Discord community, and there we have separate channels for different projects. And in there, you can then basically ask other community members if they already used the project, if they know about it, if they looked at it or so. I haven't, and honestly, I don't have time. So I pretty much, if you check my channel, you see that I just don't get to recording. I mean, now recently removed. It's been already a month since I published a video, which is ridiculous. I have a script ready to record, but the studio is not ready here and so on. So like I will not for the foreseeable future have the time to look into new projects, because I'll try to catch up and provide some bigger updates of what happened in like B Network, High Dollar. So all the things that I wasn't able to cover last year. You can see there are huge gaps in my publishing because there was just so much else going on in my life. So yeah, but to be fair, we have a lot of people in our Discord community that jump into projects that I haven't covered on YouTube, that I also didn't have the time to jump in myself. Like for example, Grass, in case you noticed, Grass.io. So that's something I missed out on completely, but our community members on Discord actually made some money from it. So so I just didn't have any time to deal with it. As said, people in our Discord community, one of the users shared it, they discussed it, some of them started using it, and some of them made a decent profit earning Grass tokens. And so definitely worth to discuss new projects there. Please make sure to read the rules, behave on there, and don't tag me. So I'm active in the community, and if I have something to say or you have a question and I know the answer, I'll answer it. But please don't tag me in the community if you can avoid it, or any of our team members, because the community is there also to help each other. It's not just me that has to answer everything, but there are other people as well that know shit, yeah? Anyway, we're moving on here a little bit so that we make a little bit of progress. First, we have some good news. You remember, first we actually have a clarification. I think in yesterday's episode, we talked about the requirements for Pi Network to reach the open mainnet. And I mentioned that one of the requirements was that there are 100 mainnet ready apps, yeah? I'm wrong about that. I was wrong about that. That was a requirement, but down the road, the team actually said that the 100 apps are not a requirement anymore. Yeah, so there are apparently 80 mainnet ready apps. That was already in December, and apparently with that, the 100 mainnet ready apps requirement was lifted. Now, the second thing, as Idris DGE already shared, 10 million migrations. The latest thing was, as we can see here, 10 million accounts reached, although 9,980,000 migrated pioneers. So that, I cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry. Or I could try, but it probably will not end well. So, but I mean well. Yeah. So the last thing that we're missing is basically getting another 19,000 and a few pioneers migrated. So while there are more accounts, people that have 2 wallets, for example, but we need another close to 20,000 pioneers, which could happen today, could happen tomorrow. It should actually happen in less than a day. And with that, we will have the next requirement. That does not mean that then 5 seconds later, the open mainnet will happen. Yeah, obviously the team has to probably make an official announcement and flip the switch on their end. So they probably will make a blog post and say, hey, we reached the requirements. And then they will say, okay, with that on whatever, Sunday in 2 weeks or whatever date they pick, we will flip the switch and it will be the open mainnet. Yeah? Which also brings us to one of the comments. I'm going to jump ahead here because I already know there is one. Yeah, so there might have been a misunderstanding. I thought that was a comment on the live stream. Yeah, Agora Pulse is a little, okay, that's on an older video. Yeah. So let's read that comment real quick. As you probably know, the listing of a cryptocurrency is only possible at the request of the person who created the cryptocurrency concerned. That is not true, but it's not a big issue. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second. Whether it's Binance, Coinbase, or Kraken, the same rules apply. Yeah, again, we'll address it in the issue. Let's finish reading it. Pi Network would have to propose the project to the exchange. The exchange would study the project, and if the project complies with all the approvals requested by the exchange, then the final decision would be for the exchange to list it or not list it. No one other than the core team may request the listing. And if we follow the Pi Network project from the beginning, this is not what the core team has planned. Now, another important point, open mainnet does not mean listing. I believe I never said that open mainnet means listing. Yeah, but yeah, anyway. On the other hand, I fully agree with what you said about the IOUs. Yeah. So just to clarify, I believe so obviously I published more than 40 videos and a bunch of shorts, and I don't know how much text about Pi Network. So possible that I misstated it somewhere, but obviously open network just means that interactions with the outside of the network are possible, which means third parties can integrate with the Pi Network blockchain. Yeah. It does not mean if, let's say, the open mainnet would be this Sunday, that then instantly 5 seconds later there would be a listing on any exchange. Yeah. In general, while most bigger exchanges obviously work in the way that the creators of a project would contact the exchange and say, hey, we would like to be listed. To say it's always like this and the same rule apply and so on is not true. There are plenty of exchanges that list whatever they feel like, because if it's technically possible, so all they have to do is the exchange has to be able to create their own wallet or wallets, and there has to be a software development kit that the developers of the exchange can use to basically automate the deposit and withdrawal processes. And then any exchange can list any coin or token if they feel like it. Yeah. Again, bigger exchanges will only list coins or tokens upon request. Yeah. Some exchanges charge fees, some of them huge fees to get listed. Yeah. But it's not accurate to say that pretty much, or that all exchanges only list if the core team would reach out to them. Yeah. Fact of the matter, the IOUs actually already proved that that's not the case, because nobody from the core team officially distanced themselves from all those listings, yet the IOUs are listed on HTX, Bitmarks, Bitcoin, I don't know, SuperX, so yeah, and were listed apparently on xt.com, maybe they're still, yeah, who knows. But the moment the open mainnet is there, in combination with the resources that allow developers to integrate or connect with the Pi Network blockchain and ecosystem, any exchange, if they decide to do so, could just list it and create the integration that then processes withdrawals and deposits of Pi coins on the exchange. Yeah. Obviously, most exchanges will not do it unless they see there's huge demand or the team reaches out and starts that process. Yeah. What's important to understand from that perspective is, therefore, that if or when we reach the open mainnet, likely there will not be on the same day or the same week some exchange that supports the coin or token. Yeah. There might, however, be relatively quickly a decentralized exchange. So, for example, we have Uniswap and PancakeSwap for the Ethereum blockchain, and for the Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, if I recall it correctly. So those are decentralized. There's no exchange where you deposit. You just connect your wallet and then you say, I want to exchange this cryptocurrency into that cryptocurrency, and all of this works by using a liquidity pool in between. So I think it's more likely that before we will be able, or people will be able to deposit Pi on a centralized exchange, that there will be some decentralized exchange that either is set up because Pi Network runs on its blockchain, or that adds support for swapping, so exchanging Pi coins for other cryptocurrency. Yeah. So much about that. Did I miss anything? blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so, but I appreciate the comment. So yeah, just saying it's not completely up to, or it's not just the core team. If an exchange wants to list the coin and that they have all they need to interact with wallets and transactions on them from a technical perspective, they can just integrate it. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the chat for a second. What is your prediction for the price? I'm assuming you're still talking about Pi Network. Yeah, so please mention the project. It might be obvious to you, but if I don't see your comment right now and we move on to something about B Network, then I'm just confused. Yeah. And it also is easier to understand for people when they watch the recording, when then the message that I show contains the name of the project. Yeah. I don't have a specific price prediction. We talked about it yesterday. Or maybe not yesterday, but we definitely talked about it in last week's episodes on Wednesday and Thursday, and for like half an hour. So feel free to check out those episodes. I also I don't want to have this anymore. That's the same thing. And I wanted to look at that we don't need anymore. So there I just want to jump in. Mercury One, who is one of the most active, you can see top 1% commenter. He's actually one of the moderators, if not one of the creators of the Pi Network subreddit, was the one that actually mentioned that it's not required anymore. And the source is the update that should be from December. Yeah, so December 19. Yeah. So we don't need that post anymore. Just wanted to highlight that. And then there's another one that I wanted to look at. Yeah, so I didn't read that one, so I'm not sure if we will read all of it during the stream. But it is about a price estimate. So I don't have a specific price estimate. I shared last week already what I think about what the issue would be with a high value, especially in relation to the amount that's already circulating in connection with low income countries. And yeah, like, so I shared what I believe, no matter the value, unless it starts with 0.00 something, no matter the value, there will be an initial dump because, yeah, as said, so, I mean, just very, very quick math, yeah. So if Pi would launch, the average wallet, as far as I recall, has 170 Pi. So if it would launch at $1 per Pi, then in countries like the Philippines, that would be half a month's average salary, yeah. So it actually, for people, it seems like it makes a difference in their life. Yeah. For somebody in the US that earns 60,000 per year or more, or 30,000 per year or more, it might not be worth cashing out and they would just hold. But for somebody that lives in a country where they earn $200, $300, $500 per month, that actually makes a difference in their life and they would sell. Yeah. And there are millions of users in, I don't know, the Philippines, India, and so on, other low income countries. So if it launches at $1, there will be an initial decline, because those people, not all of them, but there will be some of them that either sell because with that they, I don't know, can pay for their new phone, or they can buy a used PlayStation, or whatever it is they want to get, yeah. But for them, that amount already makes a difference. Or there will be people that are really broke, that live paycheck to paycheck. I feel pity for them, but that's how the world is. So there are some people like that. And for them, $170 means they don't get evicted tomorrow. Yeah. So if it launches at $1, I believe there will be, especially if there's an easy way to exchange it, I believe there will be an initial sell-off. Yeah. Long term, it comes down, in my opinion, then to the use cases. So how many vendors are accepting Pi, and what apps there are where you need to have Pi to use those apps. But even with use cases, you have to consider, if I've seen people be like, oh, once Amazon accepts Pi, yeah. So I don't believe Amazon will ever, and if they would accept all cryptocurrencies, or all major ones like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and so on. And why will they not? Because it's an accounting nightmare, especially if they have to deal with it in each country separately. So with the legal requirements and accounting rules for accepting crypto, and it's volatile. So if you buy something for $100 and you pay in Bitcoin, then half an hour later, Amazon could just have $90. Yes, they could also have $110. Yeah. But you get the idea, and they still need a certain amount of money. So I doubt that, or at some point in the future, yes, they probably will accept cryptocurrencies, but it will not happen very fast, and it will not be that they integrate PiCoin specifically, but then it will be a solution where you can pay with different cryptocurrencies. Yeah, but the core problem of that, when people say, oh, once Amazon accepts Pi, it will explode or so. Yeah, so again, Amazon or any other big store will not just accept Pi; they would accept different cryptocurrencies, and Pi would just be one of them. But the bigger issue is, let's say I'm selling, since I have it here on the desk, aware elements. Yeah, so I'm selling those, and I'm selling them. I accept dollar, I accept euro, but I also accept Pi coin. Yeah. Now, since I'm not the manufacturer, or let's say I'm even the producer of that thing. Yeah. So I'm the one that produces that thing, but I'm not producing the plastic. I'm not producing the electronics. I'm not producing the wire that you cannot see right now. I'm not producing a lot of it. I'm not producing the box it gets shipped in. I buy those things, and I have to buy them with euro, US dollar, whatever currency. Yeah? Which means if I sell this to you in Pi coins, I have to take at least some of the Pi coins, because I also will have a profit margin, and exchange it for euro, US dollar, whatever, so I can pay my producers, which means I also create sell pressure. Yeah. So while it's great when vendors accept Pi coins, but at the end of the day, if there's only a small number of vendors that accept Pi coins, then they also will again have to exchange it for fiat, so euro, dollar, whatever, yeah, so they can pay their own suppliers and their own bills, which is again a sell transaction, yeah. So it's a huge step, more and more vendors accepting Pi coin, but unless it would be legal tender, so you can pay your hairdresser, you can pay your rent, you can pay your insurance, so that when I sell you this thing here for Pi coin, and you give me, I don't know, 1 Pi, 100 Pi, 1,000 Pi, it doesn't matter how much, I don't have to sell the Pi, but I can then use the Pi to pay my landlord. Yeah, so I don't have to have a sell transaction for Pi to US dollar or euro, so that I can then pay with US dollar or euro for my to my landlord. So I hope you get the idea. Yeah. So, but I don't have a price prediction specifically. You should check it out. I'm actually going to share this. I haven't read it fully, so I don't know if it's full of nonsense, but from the comments that I read, and from the upvotes, it seems to be apparently not that badly perceived. Potential Pi price prediction. Got me typing, yeah, prediction on Reddit. So check that out. And yeah, so rough prediction would be based on probably some supply. That's actually the currently migrated supply without considering the lockup, and an expected market capitalization that I don't know is probably explained somewhere there. Then the token would be 1.67. Then again, the problem would be with 170 to 1.67, 170 Pi per average, 1.67. It would be pretty much 1 month average salary in the Philippines. So again, not every pioneer in the Philippines. There will be a bunch that are like, yay, I hold it long term, it will make me rich maybe, yeah. But there will be a few, for them, that's a whole month income, or 90% or 80% of a whole month income, which means if they sell that, it's the same as working a full month. So there will be, I don't know, 100, 1,000, maybe it's 1% only, maybe it's 50% of the people in that low income country that would sell for that value. And that would be, again, thousands, 10,000s, maybe 100,000s of sell transactions. Whereas if the price is too high, then people will likely not buy a lot of tokens. So that's why I expect no matter what price we launch, so there is the assumption $16 per token at that price. I mean, who wouldn't sell? If you have, even if you live in the US, if you have 117 times $16, median income in the US is probably $40,000. So that's times 12. It's also a month's salary for somebody in the US. And if you live paycheck to paycheck, selling this would mean you get breathing room. Yeah. So if it launches at $16, I would assume the moment there's an exchange where you can sell for that, there would be a sell-off even from people in first world countries, because for many of them, it would make a difference. Yeah. I mentioned in one of the last streams, and I shared it on Discord as well, that recently we upgraded our small solar system to get a new battery, 4 new panels, so that we have a total of 2,000 watts, 1.6 kilowatts battery, so that we can store the energy and only use it when then basically we need it. So it's not if we are not using it and the sun is shining, it just evaporates in quotes, so we give it away for free. And the whole system, it was like, I don't know, let's say $2,000. Yeah. And So obviously I had to pay that with my money or our money, which means we don't earn interest on that money. And while we now save on our electricity bill, it would be much nicer if I still would have 2,000 in my stock portfolio, or even on a savings account where I get, I don't know, 3% interest, 3.5% interest. I'm not saying that I would sell for that, or definitely not all of it, but at $16 per token, there would be an instant sell-off. Yeah. So for people in the Philippines, that's almost a year's salary. So not for everyone there, of course, but mostly. So people in Manila, for example, might have higher salaries. People on some remote island might have lower salaries. Somebody that works as a job that requires low qualification earns less, and so on. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gabby, I meant actually differently, but I will clarify that later. Yeah. But thanks for writing on Discord. Yeah. But for many people. So for many people in the Philippines, that would be, as I said, almost a year's salary. So would you cash out if you know, okay, you don't have to work, I don't know, the next 9 months, and you still have the same income? Yeah. Idris says, on behalf of a trustful YouTuber, I obviously don't know what you mean. He said that one from the core team said that the price will be between 7 and 17. Yeah. But again, not talking from a market capitalization perspective or from the total supply and whatnot, yeah, but just common sense. So if we look, I don't know, like if there's low income countries, yeah, let's see, low and middle income countries and regions, study. Okay, so, okay, there we don't see the income. Thank you very much, yeah. Okay, so that's the list of countries where the GNI, so the income per person is below 14,000. So they earn, I mean, that's still high, yeah, so about 14,000 divided by 12, so 1,166, yeah. So if we say, as that second suggestion was, I said 117 times, or let's take your chat message times 7, that's $1,200 times 12. So that's already slightly more than the measurement here, yeah. So which means divided by 12, yeah, which means at $7, all those countries here, yeah, and only considering the 170 Pi available, it would mean more than a month's salary. Yeah. In some of those countries, this would be 3-4 month salaries. In others, it would only be 1 month salary or so, or 1.5. But in all those countries, at $7 per Pi, every pioneer, if he cashes out instantly, would basically have made more money than they get for working an entire month on average. Yeah. So, and if we talk about 170 times $17, yeah, then we're talking obviously about at least 2.5, so times 12. So you can see divided by 14,000. So 2.5 times the monthly income, that is the measurement here. So for some countries, that would be, again, a yearly income. For others, 6 months. For others, only 2.5, and so on. But all those countries, like every single country here, yeah, which means ask yourself, maybe you are doing well in your country, yeah. So maybe you're doing well, and for you it's like, okay, I'm not gonna sell for $10 per Pi, yeah. But ask yourself, if you live paycheck to paycheck, you have to pay rent in your country, and you really every month barely at the end of the month are able to afford your food. And then, you know, if you sell right now, it's 1 month salary. So even if that 1 month salary translates to $200, $300, $500, wouldn't you sell, or at least sell half or something like that, you know? So do you really then want to wait longer and hope that it goes higher and higher? Or if the first people sell and maybe the price launches at 17, and for 17, definitely a few people will sell, because I said somebody that has 2,000 Pi would make, even in the US, 1 year's median salary with selling that, yeah. So which means the price will initially dip. So you are in some lower income country, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you see that the price goes from 17 to 16 to 15 to 14, wouldn't you then also decide, okay, I'm going to cash out quickly to have my 3 month salary or 1 year salary secured? And with that, you just compound the problem. So I'm not saying that $7 is not possible or $17 is not possible, or so. I'm not, so like, don't get me as like I'm pessimistic. I'm trying to, we actually will have to end the stream then after this, yeah, because we're already getting towards the time limit that I have. So I get ready for the next stream that I have on my trading channel in half an hour. But I personally have no expectations. If Pi launches for 1 cent, I'm going to be happy. Not because I have a lot, but I will be happy with that because that's a starting point where it's affordable and people can also buy it. Yeah. If Pi launches for $100, I'm going to be even happier. Yeah. If the, in my opinion, lunatics that believe into the global consensus value of $314,000 per Pi, if they are right, yeah, and I believe they're really either stupid, delusional, or trying to scam people of overvaluing Pi. But if they were right, I'd be even happier because I'd instantly be on the Forbes list or so, yeah. But no matter what, I don't have an expectation, and whatever the value will be on the open mainnet, I'm going to be happy about it, yeah. I don't want to have an expectation, because if I would now say, yes, let's say $10 seems fair, yeah, based on the blog post and based on the message you shared just now, and I'm already, okay, I have 1,000 Pi, that's $10,000. With $10,000, I can, I don't know, buy a new computer setup. Maybe it's a down payment for a car. Maybe I can, I don't know, finally have a honeymoon with Irina or something like that, yeah. So you see, then I would already believe. And what if it then launches at $5, which is still a great value in my opinion? I would be super disappointed because I was already planning and conditioning myself $10, $10. Just like the people that keep telling themselves $314,000 per Pi are going to be all disappointed. It could launch at $1,000 per coin and they will be disappointed, which is ridiculous, but they are going that route. Yeah. So in my opinion, I don't know, like, I'm sure I'm even missing a lot of things in my own calculations when I say, okay, if we consider low income countries and if we consider this and so on, and if we consider the supply and blah, blah, blah. But just try to consider a little bit more. So not just the supply, but also consider the actual user base. If you look here in the chat, I mean, obviously on YouTube, most people use not their real name and so on, but in the chat, how many Western names do you see from potentially first world countries showing up? Yeah. So not that that's something bad, but if we then consider from Southeast Asia, Africa, and so on, the average income per month and so on, then the question at what price people would sell gets a different answer than if you would ask in Dubai. Yeah. Also in Dubai, although in Dubai there's also a lot of people that earn little in quotes. Yeah, at least for Dubai standards. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I have to call it quits here because I need some break to prepare for the next live stream. Yeah, we didn't manage many comments today, unfortunately, but we'll get to it then tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by, everyone. Thank you for asking questions. That's what I'm here for, to discuss things and provide you answers as good as I can. Check out the links that I shared in the chat. They should help you further. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a pleasant rest of the day, and then see you all tomorrow with another episode of Daily Market Mastery. And we're not Daily Market Mastery. That's the stream that I have in 25 minutes on my trading channel. See you all tomorrow for another episode of Comment Chaos Live. And yeah, till then, bye-bye. And thanks for all the love that you're sending. I see it in the chat on the right. So see you then. Bye-bye.